Before we dive in, hit that like button and subscribe. Why? Because every time you do, a weak version of you quietly packs its bags and moves out. For good. Let me ask you something. If your current self showed up on a dating app, would you swipe right? Or would you say, yikes, that guy still lives with doubt, ghosted his potential, and talks about his dreams, but never calls them back? Truth is, most people are dating the weakest version of themselves, ordering takeout with fear, Netflix, and chilling with procrastination, and cuddling up to old excuses. But not you. Not anymore. Napoleon Hill said, "You are the master of your destiny. You can influence, direct, and control your own environment. You can make your life what you want it to be. And it starts right now by breaking up with that weaker you." You know the one. They hit snooze 6 times, say someday a lot, and panic when the Wi-Fi drops, but not when the dream does. That version of you? We're putting them on mute. Real talk. If you're serious about building a life that feels like freedom, confidence, purpose, and a little fire in your eyes kinda energy, then you've got to stop dating your limits. It's time to meet your higher self, the one that shows up, speaks up, and levels up. So here's your fun task before we roll. Drop this in the comments. Firing the weak me. That's it. Loud enough for the universe to hear and clear enough that you believe it. Now buckle up, because what's coming next isn't just hype. It's your wake-up call, blueprint, and mirror all in one. We're diving deep into discipline, mindset, Napoleon Hill wisdom, and how to stop ghosting your greatness. Let's go build someone you'd be proud to date. You. Number 1. The weak self is a bad date. Fire them. All right, so now that you've hit like, subscribed, and declared firing the weak me to the universe, let's really talk about this weak version of you, aka the worst date ever. Picture this. You're sitting at a table, all dressed up, candles lit, mood set. And in walks your date. Weak you. They're 15 minutes late. They're already talking about how tired they are. They forgot their wallet, and they just ordered water. Because it's easier. By dessert, they've ghosted. No ambition, no spark, just vibes. And not the good kind. That, my friend, is the version of you we're kicking to the curb today. Now, I get it. You might be thinking, but isn't that just who I am? Isn't that me? Absolutely not. That's just who you've been hanging out with. There's another version of you that's been waiting in the wings. Napoleon Hill, the OG of personal growth, called it the other self. He said every person has 2 selves, the one ruled by fear and the one fueled by purpose. One hides under the blankets, the other builds an empire before breakfast. You know which one's been running the show when you skip the gym because it's raining. Text your ex because you're bored. Watch 10 TikToks on motivation, but still don't do the thing. Say, I'll start Monday, but forget to mention which Monday. But Hill dropped this fire line. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Sounds big, right? Let me break it down. If you can imagine it and you believe it enough to actually act on it, then yes, you can become it. That's not fluff, that's real. But your weak self, oh, they only imagine, they don't believe, and they definitely don't act, so it's time to fire them, politely or not. Let's make it official. Your fun challenge for today: write a breakup letter to your weak self. No need to be dramatic unless you want to. You could say, "Dear procrastinating, comfort-loving me, it's not me, it's definitely you. I'm breaking up with your excuses, your laziness, and your fear of what others think. I've got dreams to date and goals to kiss under moonlight. We're done." Say it with your chest. Bonus points. If you post it somewhere, you'll see it every day. Here's the truth. Weak, you doesn't want to grow. Weak, you loves comfort. But strong you, strong. You shows up even when it's raining. Strong, you makes bold moves. Strong, you would absolutely take you on the best date ever. Think. Purpose, power, and pancakes. Napoleon Hill believed in the other self, the hidden champion inside every person. But that champion doesn't show up unless you invite them in, and firing weak you is the invitation. So let's end this section with a fire-breathing affirmation. Say it out loud, comment it, tattoo it on your confidence. I no longer date my fears, I marry my potential. Feel that? That's not just hype. That's you leveling up in real time. Now, if you're wondering, okay, I broke up with weak me. But what comes next? Oh, just the most important decision of your life. It's time to figure out who you're really meant to be with. Your future self. The version of you that's waiting, glowing, ready to build a life that slaps. Let's go meet them. Number 2. Date your future, not your fear. So now that you've fired the weakest version of you like the HR boss of your own life, let's talk about your next date. And spoiler alert, it better not be fear. Because fear, that sneaky little energy vampire, shows up wearing logic like a disguise. It tells you, be careful, play it safe, now's not the time. But really, it just wants you stuck in the same job you hate, in the relationship that drains your soul, in the life you never asked for but got too scared to change. And if you're still listening to fear, you're basically dating a GPS stuck in avoid highways mode. Sure, you might technically get where you want to go someday, but it's going to take forever, and you'll miss all the views along the way. Let's be real. How many people do you know who've stayed in a job for years just because it was safe? They hated it. It crushed their creativity, but they feared the unknown more than they feared dying inside. Or maybe it was a relationship. Comfortable, but chaotic. Nothing grew there, but the fear of being alone, that's what kept them trapped. And I say this with love. Maybe that person was you, and maybe it still is, but it doesn't have to be. Now let's flip it. I know someone, let's call her Jess, who quit her job as a receptionist with no backup plan except a burning desire to become a photographer. Everyone thought she lost her mind, but she started taking pictures of her neighbors' dogs, then weddings, then booked out months in advance. Fear told her to stay seated, but faith handed her a camera. She chose her future, and now she's living it. Her selfies, sponsored by her own success. Napoleon Hill didn't play when it came to fear. He said, faith is the only known antidote for fear. Translation, belief in your future self cancels out the static of self-doubt. He also taught us that thoughts become things. So when you're constantly thinking about what could go wrong, your life starts to mirror that movie. But switch the channel to faith and the plot changes. Fear says, let's stay in bed. Purpose says, let's build an empire and still get pancakes after. Now you tell me, which one's the better date? The truth is, you can't build anything with fear. It's flaky. It ghosts you halfway through the plan. It makes you cancel goals last minute. But your future self? Oh, they're loyal. They're out there waiting for you to show up. Not perfect, but present. And here's your power move for the day. Write them a letter. Yeah, your future self. Ask them what they expect from you today. What habits are you building? What toxic patterns are you dropping? What bold moves are you making that they'll thank you for? Don't hold back. Be dramatic. Be honest. And if you really want to lock it in, read that letter out loud to yourself. Fear hates the sound of your own conviction. You're not too late. You're not too old. You're not too behind. You're just one decision away from changing the storyline. You can't control what's already happened, but you absolutely control how this next chapter starts. And you don't write that chapter sitting in the passenger seat of fear's beat-up Honda Civic. Say it out loud or drop it in the comments right now. I date faith, not fear. That's today's affirmation. And I want you to say it like your future self is eavesdropping. Now that you've broken up with fear and started texting your future, the real fun begins. Because next up, we're updating the software running your mind. And trust me, this upgrade comes with some serious glow-up energy. Let's go install some greatness. Number 3. Rewire your brain. Install better software. Let's get one thing straight. Your brain is the most powerful tech you'll ever own. Forget iPhones, AI, or smart watches. You've got the original supercomputer sitting inside your head. But let me ask you, when was the last time you updated your software? Because some of you all are out here trying to live your best life while running Windows 95 upstairs. Glitchy thoughts, frozen beliefs, that slow-loading confidence wheel of death spinning every time you try to do something bold. If you want a better life, you've got to run better mental code. And guess what? Napoleon Hill gave us the install disk almost a century ago. Hill called it auto-suggestion. Fancy word, simple meaning. It's the habit of repeating powerful thoughts and beliefs to yourself, on purpose, until they override the outdated fear-based ones. You know, the ones that say, I can't, I'm not enough, or I'm not ready. Hill believed that by feeding your mind specific, intentional thoughts, you could literally reprogram your reality. He said, your subconscious doesn't argue with you. It just obeys what you say most often. So if all you ever say is, I'm stuck, your brain will go, okay boss, stuck mode, activated. But if you start saying, I'm built for greatness, your brain starts making room for that. Look, you don't have to light incense and chant on a mountaintop. This is real, grounded, daily stuff. Start with visualizing your goals like they already happened. Picture yourself waking up in your dream home, giving that speech, running that business, or just not flinching when someone calls you confident. Do this every day before your brain can argue. Your mind doesn't know the difference between imagination and memory. Use that. Trick it into believing your future is now. Next up, mirror talk. Yeah, I said it. Go stand in front of your mirror and talk to yourself like you're the hero of your own movie. Don't just stare at your eye bags and mumble, get into it. Point at yourself. Make eye contact like you're delivering a locker room speech before the big game. Say things like, you've got this. You don't quit. You're the one that breaks the chain. You'll feel weird the first few times, but weird is how change feels at first, and if it's too awkward, give yourself permission to laugh and do it anyway. You think it's silly. Thomas Edison didn't. Neither did Kobe Bryant, or Napoleon Hill himself. Edison used to visualize the outcome of every invention before even picking up a tool. Kobe practiced every shot in his head before hitting the court. Hill woke up and told himself daily who he chose to be, even when the evidence didn't support it yet. They weren't waiting to feel ready. They were telling their brain what to believe, and eventually it started listening. And hey, if you need a starting point for your own mental update, try this fun little mantra. I am not a couch potato. I am a baked potato of destiny, hot, ready, and filled with purpose. Say it with a straight face if you can. You'll laugh, but laughter is a great way to sneak past that mental guard dog of doubt and slide in a little belief. That's psychology and comedy, baby. So here's your affirmation today. I install power. I delete doubt. Write it in the comments, out loud, on a sticky note, wherever your brain can catch it. Repetition isn't boring, it's programming. And you, my friend, are installing the mindset of a world changer. Now, get ready, because coming up next, we're going to unlock your real superpower. It's not motivation. It's not even talent. It's that spicy, silent force that shows up when nobody's watching. Discipline. And, oh, we're about to make discipline sound sexy. Let's go. Number 4, discipline is your superpower, and it's hot. Let's just say it. Discipline is hot. I mean, seriously. You ever meet someone who just does what they say they're gonna do? Who shows up for themselves even when no one's clapping? That's not just attractive, that's magnetic. And if you think it's only about six-packs or 5 a.m. wake-ups, nah, it's deeper. It's the quiet superpower that separates the dreamers from the doers, the dabblers from the dominators, the people talking about someday, and the ones living their purpose like it's a lifestyle brand. Napoleon Hill put it like this: persistence is to the character of man as carbon is to steel. Translation: you don't become strong by thinking about it. You become strong by pushing through again and again and again. That's where real confidence is born, not in front of a mirror flexing, not posting inspirational quotes, but doing hard things when no one's around to see. That's the kind of discipline that builds character, and character builds the life. Let me tell you a real story. A guy I know, average dude, nothing flashy, started waking up early to hit the gym. No special program, no New Year, New Me speech, just quiet, consistent grind. 6 months go by. Not only does his body change, but his confidence through the roof. He starts walking taller, speaking clearer, showing up like he owns the room. And suddenly, he's attracting better people, better dates, better opportunities. Why? Because he stopped chasing and started becoming. He didn't need attention. He became undeniable. That's what discipline does. It makes you undeniable. And honestly, that's the sexiest energy there is. Now let's talk about why people don't stick with it. Because it's not shiny. Discipline doesn't come with fireworks or a motivational soundtrack. It's boring. It's repetitive. It's like brushing your teeth. Nobody's posting about it, but you skip it long enough and, well, everything starts to stink. That's why most people give up. They want passion, but not process. They want results, but not repetition. But Hill said it best: definiteness of purpose is everything. You've got to wake up knowing exactly what you're building and why. You can't build a castle if you don't know what you're laying bricks for. Let me hit you with a dating angle real quick. Discipline is like emotional cologne. People can smell it. It's the quiet confidence of someone who doesn't need to prove anything. They've already proven it to themselves. You ever date someone who's all talk but can't follow through on the smallest plan? Red flag. Now flip it. You become the person who says, "I'll do this," and then does it. You're suddenly in a whole different league. Because confidence doesn't come from thinking you're great. It comes from acting like someone who shows up every damn day. But you gotta know what you're aiming for. Otherwise, discipline becomes drudgery. So ask yourself, what's your purpose right now? Not in 5 years. Today. What would strong you do this morning? What are they building this week? Lock that in. Because once your purpose is clear, discipline becomes devotion. You don't have to force it. You just flow in the direction of who you've decided to become. Let's land this with a fire line you can shout, write, tattoo on your water bottle, whatever gets you to own it. I show up, no applause needed. Drop that in the comments. Let the world and your old excuses know you're not waiting to feel like it. You are it. And if you're wondering, okay, I'm getting disciplined, but how do I know I'm becoming the right person? Good question, because next up, we're digging into your inner circle, who you roll with, and why that might be the most important decision you ever make. Stay tuned. We're just getting warmed up. Number 5, who you hang with equals who you become. Let's talk about your crew, your circle, your ride or die humans. Or maybe your ride or lie on the couch humans, because here's the truth that most people never want to admit. Who you hang with equals who you become, period. Napoleon Hill didn't sugarcoat it either. He called it the mastermind principle, a big fancy term that basically means this: surround yourself with powerful minds and your own mind levels up. Surround yourself with clowns, though. Don't be shocked if your life starts to feel like a 3-ring circus. Yes, even your love life. Think about it. If your closest friends are always talking about the weekend, but never the future, if they cheer louder for discounts than they do for dreams, if they mock your ambition because it makes them feel lazy, then you're not just chilling with the wrong people, you're marinating in mediocrity, and that stuff seeps deep. There's a reason Hill spent a whole chapter on this. He understood that your environment is more powerful than your willpower. You can have the best intentions in the world, but if you're surrounded by folks who don't believe in growth, you'll slowly start shrinking just to fit in. Real story. One guy I knew used to be stuck. Big dreams, small energy. He watched motivational videos every morning and then hung out with friends who joked about failure and called ambition cringe. Then, one day, he found a mastermind group, an online community full of people building businesses, sharing ideas, and pushing each other to be great. 6 months in, his income doubled, his confidence exploded, his circle changed, and so did his life. Hill said it best. "Tell me who you walk with, and I'll tell you who you are." And look, that quote might sound old school, but it's realer than your last text message. You become the energy you're around. You absorb the thoughts, habits, and even speech patterns of the people you see most. It's contagious, it's science, it's spiritual, it's scary if you're not careful. Now, here's the dating metaphor you didn't ask for, but absolutely need. If you're always around clowns, don't be surprised when your life starts attracting other circus acts, juggling dreams you keep dropping, walking tightropes of people-pleasing, getting applause for performing but never progressing. It's funny until it's not. So let's do something fun and powerful. I want you to audit your crew. Yeah, like a report card for your social circle. Who's helping you level up? Who's challenging you, encouraging you, clapping for you even when they're tired? And who's just handing you the remote, passing the chips and saying, just chill while your potential fades like a rerun? Don't ghost everyone in your phone book. Just start making room for greatness. Seek people who make you uncomfortable in the best way. People who ask about your goals, not your gossip. People who hold you accountable, not hostage. You don't need to be a millionaire to think like one. You just need to spend time with people who believe success is possible, especially yours. So here's your moment. Look at your life like a mirror. Who's reflecting back your strongest self? And who's fogging it up with their own fears? Be honest, then be bold enough to change the view. And before we move on, let's lock it in with a power punch of truth. Say it out loud, type it in the comments, shout it in your group chat if you're really about it. My circle is my future. Yeah, that hits. Now, what happens when the people you need don't show up? What do you do when the support system is missing, but the dream still burns inside you? Don't worry, we're going there next, because the next version of you, they know how to build belief from the inside out. Number 6. Turn dreams into dates with destiny. Let's get real for a second. Dreams are cute. They're inspiring. They're Pinterest board material. But dreams without deadlines, that's like buying a gym membership, taking a selfie with your new protein shake and never stepping foot inside the building. Nice in theory, useless in practice. And if you've ever said, one day I'll write a book, someday I'll get in shape, or eventually I'll start my own business, then this is your wake-up call. Someday isn't on the calendar. If your dreams don't have a date, they're not dreams. They're wishful thinking with a really good PR team. Napoleon Hill, the master of turning vision into reality, had a simple formula. Goals plus deadlines plus burning desire equals transformation. Read that again. Goals give you direction. Deadlines give you urgency. And burning desire? That's the gas in the tank, baby. Without all three, your dreams stay stuck in imagination land, right next to unicorns and your high school crush still liking your Instagram story. Let's take a real-world example. There was this guy, average job, average energy, average life. He wanted to run a marathon, but had never jogged past his mailbox. One day, he picked a date, 6 months out. Not maybe, not someday. A real race, a real deadline. He made a plan, trained daily, logged his progress, and 6 months later, he crossed the finish line. He didn't just get fit. He became someone else. Not because he thought about running, because he scheduled it and showed up. That's the difference between a daydream and destiny. One is soft, the other is scheduled. So let's do something wild. Imagine your goal was a real person, someone you're dating. Would they feel loved, cherished, and prioritized? Or would they feel ghosted, left on red, wondering why you only hit them up when you're bored at 2 a.m.? Here's the truth. Your dreams deserve commitment. They want to feel chosen. And the only way to prove your loyalty, a deadline, a real one. Not next year, or after the holidays, or when Mercury isn't in retrograde. A deadline that forces you to rearrange your life. That makes you uncomfortable, in a good way, like first date nervous, but also can't stop thinking about it, excited. Choose one goal, not 5. One, the one that's been tugging at you the longest, the one that scares you just enough to matter. Then set a deadline. Put it on your calendar like it's a wedding, like it's a non-refundable vacation, like it's a date with destiny, because it is. And once that deadline is real, track your progress. Daily. Not when you feel like it, even if it's small steps, even if it's messy, even if you trip and fall flat on your face. Keep moving, because momentum is magic, and consistency is what turns daydreamers into doers. Napoleon Hill said, "Don't wait. The time will never be just right. Let that hit. There will never be a perfect moment. There will always be laundry, emails, distractions, doubts, but dreams don't wait, and neither should you." So let's hit it with today's affirmation. Say it loud, type it proud, write it in the comments like you mean it. Dating my destiny. That's the vibe now. No more ghosting your greatness. Coming up next, we're going to talk about the crew you roll with. Because if you're ready to chase goals, but everyone around you is chasing gossip, guess what? You're gonna trip. Stay tuned, because your environment might just be your biggest power-up or your biggest problem. Let's go. And that brings us full circle. You've broken up with your weak self, set a real date with your destiny, and you're officially out of the someday zone. Remember, dreams don't come true just because you want them. They come true because you schedule them and show up. So go write that deadline down, take action today, and start living like the person your future self will thank you for. If this lit a fire in you, don't keep it to yourself. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone else who needs to stop ghosting their greatness. Let's grow together.